What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So finally, three-division world champion, undefeated Japanese superstar boxer, former bantamweight undisputed world champion, now super bantamweight title contender, Naoya the Monster Inoue, who is 24 wins, no losses, no draw, 21 big wins by way of knockout. He is 30 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. He's going into arguably the biggest fight of his career outside of him becoming undisputed. And Inoue is going to take on the unified bantamweight, super bantamweight world champion, WBC, WBO superstar boxer, Cool Boy Stephen Fulton, okay, in his next fight. This is who Naoya Monster Inoue is going to be fighting in his next fight. Now, this is not going without controversy, as this fight is going to take place, well, it's scheduled to take place this Tuesday, okay, July 25th. And Cool Boy Steph is 21 wins, no losses, no draw, 8 wins by way of knockout. He is 5'7" with a 70.5-inch arm reach. Okay, Cool Boy Steph is 29 years of age. He turned 29 July 17th. They're going to fight July 25th. So a week ago, he just turned 29. So Monster Inoue is 2 years older than Cool Boy Steph. And this is a massive fight, as Cool Boy Steph, he holds the WBO and WBC super bantamweight titles. And this is Inoue's first fight moving up. Now, the Monster, he has 21 knockouts in 24 fights. But now people are starting to question his knockout power because two things has arose. One in which is that Inoue did not even want to be notified by VADA. He had an issue with VADA. This fight was supposed to take place earlier in the year, and Inoue was not happy with VADA doing random style urine and blood testing. He did not want that, okay? He was not okay with that. He was not approval of that. And so anyway, he wanted to be notified when they was coming to test him, which beats the whole purpose of VADA doing random testing, because that's the whole point, that they pop up and you don't know when they're coming. So then he cited that he had a hand injury or injury, and the fight was pushed back to July 25th. Now, Inoue has been cited for stacking his hand wraps, okay? Which means that he's putting tape on his bare skin, then putting gauze, then putting more tape, then more gauze, then more tape, and then putting his gloves on. So he's essentially stacking his hand wraps. And the boxing world is frowning upon this, but it's legal in Nevada, it's legal in Texas, and it's legal in Japan. But it's not legal in majority of the states here in the United States. We have 52 states here, and it's only legal in 3 of them. It's not legal in the United Kingdom, the UK, where boxing was invented, but it's legal in Japan. And Cool Boy Steph, his trainer, has cited that they don't take kind to this, and they're willing to pull out the fight if Inoue doesn't change his hand wraps, okay, the way he wraps his hands. In the States, in most places, in most countries, you wrap gauze first, then tape, and then the commission signs off on it. Then you put your gloves on, right? Essentially, what the professional boxers are citing is that when you put tape on the bare skin and then wrap it with gauze and then put more tape and then more gauze and then more tape and then your glove, you essentially created a cast. So Timothy Bradley, who is a 2-division champion, only lost to one man in Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, legendary 8-division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar, Hall of Fame boxer. That's the only 2 losses that Timothy Bradley has on his record. He's a Hall of Famer. He went off on Monster Inoue last night after George Kambosos, former unified lightweight champion, took on Maxie Hughes in a disgusting victory for George Kambosos, as the judges saw Kambosos winning by a landslide. And we clearly saw Maxie Hughes at least get a draw, if not win the fight, clearly. But with that said, after the fight, Timothy Bradley was not happy. He's calling his fight with Inoue. It's going to be on ESPN. The coverage begins at 4:30 a.m. in Japan It's later, obviously, but here in the States, it's 4:30 a.m. on the East Coast. So it'll be 1:30 a.m. on the West Coast. So with that said, Timothy Bradley's calling that fight. He's a boxing pundit for ESPN Top Rank Boxing. Inoue signed the Top Rank Boxing. And so Timothy Bradley, he says that this is terrible. Inoue is gaining 10 times the amount of power that he would normally have by having essentially a cast on his hands. That's creating a cast. So Cool Boy Steph and his team have realized that this is what he's doing, and they're not happy about it. And they called for this to be addressed, or they're willing to pull out the fight. And here's Monster Inoue's final response as he's telling Cool Boy Steph, well, you have to suck it up, be a man, because here in Japan, these are the rules and I can do what I want. Wow. If your opponent is not comfortable with the way you're wrapping your hands and can physically do bodily harm because you're having an extra advantage, well, then he's conceded to you being the A side and wanting to do and wanting to have everything the way you want it. Coming to Japan, he's the unified champion. He's undefeated. You're moving up into his weight class. Yes, you're a bigger star in Japan. He's a big star, no doubt about it. But he's not a massive star here in the States over Cool Boy Steph. Neither one in the States is a massive star here. So with that said, Cool Boy Steph conceded to everything Inoue has wanted. And now Cool Boy Steph and his team is asking that he don't stack his hand wraps because they don't feel comfortable with it. And now you have the boxing world saying that Cool Boy Steph is just afraid. His team is scared and they're looking for excuses. But everybody loves to talk about how they willing to go above and beyond for the fighter's safety. Nobody cares about the fighter's safety. Everybody cares about seeing the fights. This is why I don't have a problem with us not having the best fighting the best. Now, as a fan, I do have a problem with it. But this is why. Because fans are fickle. The boxing world is the Wild Wild West, right? There should be a universal law. If boxers are not happy with this universal, everywhere you go, they're not happy with fighters stacking their wraps. And so the response is, well, Cool Boy Steph, he should go ahead and stack his wraps as well. No, these fighters, any single punch can change their life forever. They risk it all every time they step through the ring. Hence the reason why they get paid handsomely for their services. But they're risking it all. They never know when they step through the ropes, are they going to go home the same way? We just saw a sad situation with Pritchard Colon. You never know when you're going to step in the ropes or you're going to leave the same. And now everybody will send their well wishes and their tears and talk about how much this is sad and that they support the fighters and they hope for a speedy recovery. But meanwhile, you could have campaigned to do something to make an adjustment to prevent this from happening. And then I'm seeing the most disgusting thing is, well, Inoue has always been doing this, and Cool Boy Steph and his team should not have never signed a contract. But what about the other fighters that Inoue fights that you claim to care about? So if it's not Cool Boy Steph, it could be somebody else. You claim you care about these fighters and their well-being and their health. I don't see many fighters speaking up about this situation because people are saying that we should support Cool Boy Steph and we support this big fight. But I don't see many people campaigning and complaining and saying that this should not be allowed. Where's the current champions, the fighters that should be having an outcry right now and complaining? We need the biggest fighters at the top to be complaining right now about this, and that will in return affect change. But you don't hear any of the other big fighters that's currently active expressing their complaints. You only hear retired fighters, managers, trainers, as such, that have an issue with this. Where are the current fighters that are active? Where are their complaints? Where's their care? They talk about that the fighters, nobody cares about the fighters and they just out to get their money. Well, here you have a fellow fighter that's going through an issue and nobody's speaking up. And now Inoue has the audacity and the gall to say that Cool Boy Steph should just suck it up because this is the rules and he could do what he want. Disgusting. And that's all I got for y'all. It's abundantly clear that Inoue has a hang up. He's not confident in himself and his abilities, and he needs an unfair advantage. Period. And that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.